No, no, stop looking at... Turn... No!
I think
Stop this.
he's got you figured out.
Fine.
I think
Fine,
he's
I'll follow
rumbled
this
you,
guy.
Josh.
Stop detecting me!
Well, somebody in this room's going to be looking at you at all times. It's a well-lit room full of people. Well, full of
You
people
lost
by...
karma. Alright, cool, we got keys.
Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines level broken, Josh.
Not quite. Alright, I can't remember where we go to start this quest. Talking
One
to
robbery
its
in and now we're
leaders.
starting the quest.
Okay, we don't have the quest yet.
Humbly at your service.
This is the guy for the...
What is it with this engine? It is so good at figuring out where poles are so that it can place them between the camera and the person you're talking to.
Oh,
Every
man!
friggin' time.
I want that hat.
I know.
Look at that hat.
If you kill him, you do not get that hat. I tried.
Ah!
How may I be?
I killed him
that.
expressly for that hat, and he did not have it.
Such a popular
Oh god, you
question.
gotta love how he typed.
I suppose it is only natural to see us and wonder what it is that
Wait, so he's got a
makes us
computer
special.
and a notepad?
The White Glove Society has
An
only
invisible
just
Yeah.
made itself
notepad?
known to the public, of course.
I have
Or
no
just
idea
use
how this
white on
one's
his
goes.
glove.
Pedigree was established
This is the first
over
time.
generations.
I probably got about this far.
We
Right, because you walked in and said, hey, I'm a cannibal, and got
Maybe
chased
lying.
out.
Not everyone
Yeah.
can wear the finest clothes.
Okay, so I
eat the
should say up
finest
front,
foods,
like,
obviously.
I rag on a lot of quests
That's
because
just
I'm
the
nitpicking
reality we live
them,
in.
but this quest is
But
outright
surely we can
broken.
agree
I'm
that the
sorry.
most tasteful,
Like, if you try to do
It
this quest
is.
the
There's so
quote-unquote
many
right
problems
way,
with it.
That's what the White
yeah,
Glove
like,
Society
it's
is all
almost
about.
impossible to do correctly.
It's a very ambitious quest for them to have constructed, and there are
Yes,
just
I'm glad
so
you
many
asked.
things that
I've heard about you,
it feels like you should be
You
able
strike
to
me
do
as
just
just the
because
sort
of the
of person who
size
can
and
help
scope of the quest and the number of...
I'm in a
Because there's
bind.
this whole
I've been planning an
investigation
exquisite society
with...
dinner, but there's a bit of a problem with the main
It's like,
course.
there's several
It's got a
pieces to the
powerful
chain.
and
There's the
temperamental father.
person who initially disappeared. Then there's the investigator. Then there's the
Yes,
guy on the inside
the
that's an
wrong
informer. Then there's the guy out in the
Scott of the
lobby
right
who
one
just
for
lost
weeks.
his son.
The heir to a
And there's a
mercantile
side
empire.
quest going on with
Sort of a
him where
black
somebody
sheep.
else on the
He
outside
cut ties with
hires
his
you to
family
kill
and left
him.
the state to wander.
So this thing is
His
like
ideal,
several
corn-fed
connected
and well-to-do.
quests.
But
And
And
the thing
someone to
is-
miss him if he were to
And the thing is,
disappear.
it's the parts I did get
Unfortunately,
through
the
were
trap my
all
subordinates
interesting
set
and
for
fun,
him
and
failed.
like, you know, I
Does he
didn't come over
escape?
Yeah.
with an
Some of
overall
their
bad
faces.
experience. It's just
Now
that, you
he's
know,
wary.
when I got towards the end of the quest, I tried to do something that
I
like
asked
everyone else
for
had
a
been setting
last-minute
up, and it
replacement,
wasn't
and
working.
they stole the
And then I
son of
looked
the
up how
most
you're supposed to do it on the
dangerous
Nexus, and I was
baron
on
in
the
New
wiki, and I was
Vegas
like,
while he
what?
stayed at this very hotel.
That's
Wait a minute,
weird.
did this guy just admit to... I haven't been paying attention to this conversation, but this guy just admit to us that he's trying
And I
to
still
eat
need
people?
somebody reputable to serve for dinner.
What?
Strictly speaking, we're no longer allowed to eat people. But I'm hoping the right person and preparation
Apparently.
might sway
Wow,
my
way to
view
just
see
give
things
this
my way.
this dude in
Weird.
mutton chops and a bonnet your entire plan. I almost want to say this is a bug because I don't think is this. I don't know.
I've never seen that option
And I need the
before.
boy taken
My
care of.
What
goodness, an
exactly-
option
This
where
is
you
so
could...
bugged
Must be healthy and well bred.
But it's amazing how many... I didn't even
Escape
realize
from
there was a
Bristol.
way to side with
With so
Mortimer in
little
all of
time,
this.
We'll have to go after our
That's
can we
pretty
please
amazing.
side with...
Carlisle St. Clair.
Oh,
Wait, so why can't you just walk over to What's-Her-Face and say, hey, check it out, there's a dude in the freezer,
If you could
maybe
send
you
him
want to
here
check
and knock
that,
him
up
out
on
of
that.
this And drag him into the dumpster
Yeah,
next to his
exactly.
house.
You
We
can't
can
do
the
that.
rest.
Once you know there's a dude in the freezer, you
Gave
have
me
to
a
do some...
cattle
you-
prod.
Not this one. Empty. I don't believe
I
it's
mean,
seen
Mortimer
no
is
system
not
anywhere.
exactly playing his cards
And what would
lightly
the point
here.
be, really? Who would pick up his trash if he used it? But for our
Hello,
purposes,
random stranger. Let
it
me
should
tell you
keep
how
his
I like to
body
eat
safe and
people.
hidden
Well, I can't
until my
actually, like,
cohorts can
make fun
recover.
of that, because that's what I...
Yeah, that's what you've been doing
Ted
since, like,
Gunderson is
episode
his
1,
name.
Mumbles.
It would be simplest.
In fact,
if
I
we
think
could
that was
convince
how
him
you
this was
introduced
all an
yourself.
unfortunate
Hi,
misunderstanding.
my name is Mumbles,
But if
I
you
like a
want
bunch of
listen,
bands you
we
probably
can't
never
follow
heard
where
of.
they go.
I like
Shot
Bioshock,
and
and
served.
I eat people.
Then we wouldn't need the replacement. But you
Let's
forgot
would
form a
about
do
soccer
that.
team and eat each other.
Perhaps if you could
Oh,
sprinkle
and
some of
Batman.
Ted's blood around his father's hotel
Just-
room,
just
you could
Batman.
frame him.
I think
No,
my mumble's impression
everyone
needs
he
work.
meets, he tells the same story.
It's
That his
a
son
little
disappeared from the
nasally.
casino, not from his room.
I don't know. I haven't heard it
I
yet.
was thinking
Mumbles
not
won't shut
nasally
up, so
enough.
you can do it.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm weirded out by this because he just like gave the whole exposition that like you spend the like a half hour on the good path trying to get to that point.
Yeah,
And Mortimer's
actually,
just like, hey, what's up? Help me eat people.
Did
I'm
he
actually
just
gonna-
tell you about the guy in the freezer?
I'm
Yeah.
actually going to preemptively side with the commenters on this one, saying you should have done the good route so you could have seen like all the build-up and stuff. But on the other hand, I mean, we're trying to show you an honest portrayal of the
You
game.
work here?
That's what Josh just stumbled onto.
As a caretaker rather than a common laborer.
Do you work here? You can a woman behind the reception desk, and you walk up. Do you work here?
And she greets you with like, "Welcome to the White Glove Society. Do you work here?" No, I'm just very enthusiastic.
And
You-
I'm
that
happy
should
to be here.
That should be tagged as an intelligence 2 and under dialogue option.
So did we get the quest for that?
I am so confused as to what this quest
I-
is doing.
Wait,
now.
I forget. Ask her again, Josh. Does she work here?
welcome to the ultra.
This is the only option I have with her. What the fuck happened?
Every day.
What in the hell?
So you can't tell her about Mortimer.
No.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to do, was tell her about. That's right, I remember wanting to do that. Once I discovered his plan, I thought the whole thing was to tell somebody about his plan. And no, you have to, like, expose him, like, through this complicated...
Yes.
They-
Very
I
convoluted.
mean, maybe she wouldn't buy outright from this stranger. Hey, Mortimer's trying to
Is
kill
Heck
people,
in
but
here?
A, all you have to do is convince her to go
Ah,
as
good.
far as the freezers to verify this.
You have
and
proof,
B,
right.
that's what speech check is for.
Dark brown hair and a white hat on lately.
This guy, Gunderson, that's right, Heck Gunderson. Outside, there's a guy who hires you to kill Heck Gunderson. If you meet him in
Yeah.
here, he sounds like, he seems like just a plain businessman, maybe maybe a bit cutthroat, but not a big deal. Outside, you learn he is just bastard of the wasteland. He's basically run people off their land and enslaved them to become this ranching tycoon. And he's here to sell all the meat from all his ill-gotten ranches to these
If I'd have
people.
been thinking, though, I'd have had him watching my boy.
Yeah, you know, this whole
Of course,
deal
Mortimer
sounds
wants to
kinda
wants to
rancid.
eat people.
My boy,
Anyway,
he was right
I know,
here.
heck,
Believe
this
him,
this
but
ties
admit it.
into one
I told
policy
him
that
to
has
stay
served me
put when I
well
talked
throughout
some
my
things
entire
over with
life,
the White
which
Glove
is
folks.
never trust
He was
anyone who
never
calls
gonna
himself
stay tied
Heck.
down to a spot, though. Gets that from his mother.
He should have named his son,
If I was
gosh
looking
darn
for
it.
him now, I'd be out myself. but I keep hoping he'd
Heck,
show up
Heck
back
is
here.
short for Hector,
Of
right?
course, if he does that,
Kind
I'll
of.
whoop him till his skinny hide turns to leather.
I don't know.
Put me through
As
this.
far as I know, it's just,
That don't mean I wouldn't be
it's
grateful.
just short for Heck.
I'd be more than happy to
Tonight
have
we dine in
hire
Heck.
anybody with a pair of legs and at least
He
one
just
good
he
eye.
just name dropped his name.
There'd be a lot of money in it for you. If
I
you
don't
could
even
get
know
him
if that was
back to me
intentional.
safe. And if
Heck,
he
I'd
ain't,
be willing to...
You can
Wait,
bet
that's
I'll
me.
pay for the names of the sons of bitches responsible. That's between me and the White Glove Society. But let's just
So there's a
say
guy
they
outside that
control
wants
the
you to
food
kill
supply around
Heck.
here,
And then
I got
Heck
lots of
wants you
food
to find
give.
his son.
But that ain't as welcome as you
And
might
I
think.
was with him up until the point where I saved his son, and I realized I was saving his son from being cannibalized, and then I realized, oh my goodness, his son Ted is such an insufferable bastard.
He
That
is an asshole.
And I wanted to go back and, like, fine, I'm gonna let these people eat you, but you can't. Like, you can't let them go through the dinner party.
Welcome to the
You can
ultra-light.
execute them yourself.
Oh, here we go.
What else? Mr. Gunderson and I
I
have been
think I
discussing
managed
his
to get the right
livestock.
quest hook now.
It's put us in a rather delicate position, you see, his coming here. Not that we aren't grateful for his generous offer. But our
Yeah, they don't want to
executive
buy
chef, Philippe, has
beef from him
transformed raw
because
steak
if
into a
they sell
delicacy.
steak,
He really is a genius.
They're afraid
Everyone
that if
wants
they
it.
if he
But
starts
the
selling
delicacy
steak
is
in the
just
strip,
that,
that everybody will have steak,
If
and then it
everyone
Yeah.
ceases to
it
be a
won't be
delicacy,
exotic
it becomes
for
a
this
perfectly
hotel to, or
ordinary
for this
staple.
casino to have steak, because everybody will
if
have
the
it,
gourmand
and they only
serves
want
staples
things that
could
everybody
no
else
longer
can't have. And
fill
I'm
the
like, well, what?
caliber of people
Why
it
doesn't he
deserves.
just
It
go
would be a
and sell
diner
steak to
or
the
a
Gamoras
family
then, or the
restaurant.
Lucky 38?
Well, 'cause
So as
we
much
blew
as
them
all
up.
love for there to be
Well,
enough
yeah,
for
but I mean, if you
everyone,
didn't do
I'm
that,
afraid there are
why?
more
I mean,
important things to
Yeah,
do.
why
Also-
is he here in negotiations with these guys? Why not just like sell
Also-
to the
What's the-
competition who would love to have steak?
Also, steak is like the staple. Ramen steak is like the
I
staple
was gonna
food
say
of
that,
the
yeah.
Waste, you numbnuts.
You can get that at
Yeah.
fucking dinosaur.
All the help I could.
Yeah, it's like the
My
equivalent of
reputation
like
hasn't always been spotless,
like
but that's all in the
these
past.
guys
Steak in the
in
real
modern
world.
day
It is
going
beyond
like,
me.
man, we
For
have
the last
transformed
time,
the
White Glove
hamburger
Society
into a
has
delicacy.
And will never consume human flesh for any reason.
And then they're
If
trying to
everyone
stop
serves
McDonald's from getting a
hamburgers,
franchise
it
in
will
New York.
lose its exoticness. Selling Philly cheesesteaks in Philadelphia.
All they had
Never
to do
consume
was
human
say
flesh for
There
any
was an
reason.
investigator. Who
there
came
was
through
another
here last
animal
week.
in the
He'd been
wasteland.
hired by a young man whose
That was
bride-to-be
very
went
difficult to
missing
take
during
care-
their stay here.
well, maybe they
Deathclaw.
do they justify it by saying that
It
his
seems
ramen are
perfectly
better or
obvious she got
something?
cold feet and ran
They're like
off.
They're
corn-fed
grass-fed.
or
Young groom
grass-fed or whatever it is that makes them
He's-
good.
Free roam.
They're not.
That sounds
not
like
rad roach fed.
organic. That sounds
Not
like
pumped up with
organic
buff
food
out.
propaganda.
Buff
A
out
meal.
raised
Well, then
ramen.
this-
That's it.
Well, this
They're
can't
grown
be.
with only the
2
finest buff
disappearances
out.
in my hotel.
How does the
Can't
founder
repeat the
not
same.
know
I'm
about
going to
Ted
have a word with my
Gunderson
staff
getting
about security on the
lost?
premises.
If Heck has been standing in the
Whether
lobby
these people
saying,
are found
"Hey,
or
my
not,
son has
that's
been
the
lost
feel
for
safe
like
in their
a
own rooms.
day."
Fun fact.
Well,
No,
yes,
fact.
I think
Feeding
so, if he
Brahmins
hasn't checked out
chems
yet,
gives him all
that
sorts of
is.
strange mutations,
I
such
had our
as single
Major
heads.
Mortimer offer him a complimentary room for as long as it took for him to be satisfied.
I ain't never seen a single head
You
cow.
see, the White Glove Society remains the very picture of courtesy, even in the face of such
You know, it's funny
impolite
though because they do
accusations.
have an
We have
exotic
nothing
food
to hide
quest
here.
in Sloan, where a woman wants to make a Deathclaw omelet.
Yes.
Ta-ta.
Deathclaws are a bit too much like people for me to want to eat their eggs. If it walks upright, it's got two
Oh, wait,
arms
I
and
think I
two
need to
legs.
ask
I
Mortimer
do not
about
want
where
its
to
eggs.
go.
I bet it tastes like
How may I be of service,
poultry.
sir?
That's what my
I'll
guess
bet
would
you'd
be.
love to eat it, you cannibal.
Except it's iguana. Okay.
I've investigated.
I have recently
Ah,
eaten
yes, I
reptile.
remember the
I had
gentleman.
rattlesnake and
This was about the
alligator,
missing
and both of them
bride,
did
such
taste
an awful
pretty
thing.
similar to like
I do
regular
hope he
meats.
finds her whereabouts.
So I don't really think that
If I might
necessarily
pry,
iguana would taste
have
that
you
much
found
different.
something
I don't know.
that will help his
Wow, so wait a minute.
investigation?
This guy was talking to us about how he kidnapped people and was using them as food, and now we ask about where the private investigator went, and he's like, "Oh yes, that missing bride. Such a shame. I do hope he finds what happened to her."
And now he's pretending to know nothing about it, as if we hadn't had that previous conversation.
Oh,
Very
wow.
weird.
That young man
You
gets
know,
some
Morty, I
closure
think you might have
than
tipped your
food.
hand on that one.
Now, ordinarily, we don't give out guest information, but I think...
Now
in
this is how I'm
circumstances
used to
he'll
doing the
want to speak
quest.
with
There's a
you.
missing bride,
Let's
somebody
see.
wants to
He
find the
hasn't
missing
checked out
bride,
yet. If
Ted's
you head
missing
back
his
to the
son,
hotel rooms,
there was an
this will be one
investigator
floor
hired to
directly
look for the
above you
bride, and
after
he
you exit the
disappeared. And then when
I
you
hope
go
you
to the
can put this whole
room, you
matter
get
to
jumped by
rest
some
before long.
Omertas.
Omertas?
You, or not a, what's the name of this clan? I
The
keep
White
calling
Glove
them Omertas.
Society?
Yeah, what's the name of their clan though?
The White Glove Society? I mean, I don't
Well,
know
they
if they
didn't
have
call
a
them
family
so.
name.
Oh, I thought they did, out in the wasteland.
Didn't they come
Maybe
from a
it does.
vault?
Which door is
No, they were like savages in the wild before
Yeah,
they
okay,
came
it's this
here.
door. Oh,
Cannibals
look!
are savages.
The investigator is dead.
Yeah, and you can't
Caruso.
take his.
Sunglasses, matchlock, matchbook.
The wiki makes no
Matchbook.
mention of what they were named before they were cannibals. I mean, before they ran a casino.
Steam room, 4 p.m.
What is it?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I gotta say about these guys, their canes, those dainty canes that they carry, are wrecking balls. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
they
Get
are
me
some of
started.
the destructive melee weapons of the game. They're these light, tiny little canes, and yet they do way more damage than a baseball bat. They
Yeah,
are
you
like
can crack some
sledgehammer.
skulls.
Yeah, they are like sledgehammer quality weapons. Like,
And they're one-handed
they are.
and fast.
yeah. And it counts as, I think it'll let you keep it. No, they take it from you. If you come in the front door, they take it from you as a weapon.
Yeah, and this fight is pretty brutal and almost unavoidable. And you aren't supposed to have a weapon at this point.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you know you have holdout grenade.
Oh,
And
nice.
Alright, we got a nice suit again. Where is it? You are now dressed as a member of
Veronica
the White
really
Glove
loves
Society.
these,
And a
actually.
dress claim.
Veronica will teach you... Be sure to give Veronica one of these, because she'll actually teach you a special melee move. A special unarmed move.
Right. It counts as a dress for Veronica. Yeah, DPS 52. Oh, did I get my leg crippled? They crippled my leg.
I think
jerks.
you crippled your leg there,
Nothing
Chief.
happened
I think that
in
one's
there.
on you,
Oh, is there anything else to get
Mr.
in here?
Grenade Hopper.
Oh, more Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Right, in a dresser, of course. That's where I keep all my
Yeah, naturally.
soda. This is my dresser where
Caruso
I keep
ended
my,
up in this room.
my
What
dresser
time
for
is
my
it?
shirts, my
1:49
pants, and my soda pop.
AM. Alright, let's sleep for a
And,
while.
oh, interesting.
You cannot
okay,
sleep in
fun
an own
fact.
bed.
If you have Wild Wasteland, the investigator here is an obvious like David Crusoe, CSI
Yeah.
reference.
that's awesome.
Yes. We took his
Yeah, if-
sunglasses.
If it's not Wild Wasteland, he looks more like a gumshoe sort of detective, and you can't take his cool trench coat outfit. And I wanted it really bad.
Is there no unowned beds here? I guess not. Alright, so...
Our rangers are going to show everyone what happens when we're pissed off.
Just
the steam
jump
room
into
is
the
this,
pool
right? Okay, so...
with
we'll
your
just wait
500
here
pounds of
for,
gear.
what is it? 16 hours? No, 14.
Also, like how everybody's swimming around in their cotton undershirts.
Yes.
Nothing like standing around a sauna for 16 hours until your brain hemorrhages.
That won't
So
make
this
you
guy had a
pass out.
note. It was like, oh, come to the steam room at 4 p.m. I will warn you, my game tends to crash whenever I talk to this guy, so I'm gonna save it before that happens. Alright, let's see what's going on. Oh. I called it!
You did.
Nice.
I fucking
Here.
called.
Must be your computer. This guy never crashes me. In fact, I crash on a completely different NPC, so clearly this is the fault of your computer.
Yeah, my computer is too advanced and red for this.
Alright, we'll be back in a minute.
Alright, try number 2. Apparently sitting on the bench is a hostile action. Well, this is encouraging.
This is difficult.
I don't think this is gonna solve itself.
You know,
But you
remember when I
have
said
talked
this
to him
was
in the
broken?
past.
Yeah, I've managed to
don't
talk
take
to him
it
in the
back.
past. This may require some experimentation. Maybe next week.
I was about to say,
you could
this is
have
what I like to hear. 16. This is what I like to hear. 19 minutes into the last episode of the week. This may require some
Oh, let's
experimentation.
experiment around a little bit, you guys.
Maybe if I pick up every tin can in the lobby.
Let's spend 40 minutes
And
collecting
then pickpocket
cameras.
them all into Mortimer's pants.
Oh, no, we failed one. At the reload.
What about, I mean, not right now, but what about having Steam verify the integrity of your game cache?
I don't know, maybe that'll work. I know I've done this before, and I know I ran into this bug several times before I figured out a way around it. So I'm just going to experiment with it in the interim between recording sessions and find a way to fix it. And we'll go with that next week, I guess. So, yeah. Fallout New Vegas, most bug-free game of all time.
It really is the most bug-free Obsidian game in a long time, so that's
If it
something.
bugs out, it's your problem.
You know what? I don't. Alpha Protocol, I think, had less bugs than this game, slightly.
Wait, is this going in the episode?
Yeah.
Jabbar sucks!